Probably seen some of them on Rebel Telly. But I suppose the first thing I want to say is that when someone you care about dies, it leaves a hole in your heart. And you can't really move on until you get answers as to why it happened. I remember when my grandmother passed away, it destroyed the whole family. She was a real Fatty Man Mansions L1, you know, the heart and soul of the family. But the doctors told us that she had lung cancer. So I had me answer. I knew why she died. She smoked 40 cigarettes a day and she passed away in James's hospital. Broke our hearts, but we had our answers. This family deserves their answers, because you can't move on and you cannot heal the hole in your heart until you get those answers. And they're afraid of an independent inquiry, not because there's not a case to answer. They're afraid of an independent inquiry because there is a case to answer. Why were these clothes taken for so many years and the family had to fight to get them back? Why was the cell repainted straight after Terence was taken to the hospital? Why was Terence's mother taken to the wrong hospital, delaying the family getting to the hospital so two Gardaí could take his clothes? Why did an engineer say it was absolutely beyond the realm of possibility that someone could use their fingernails to take a socket out of a concrete wall and hang themselves with their own tracksuit cord 4 foot off the ground when they're 6 foot tall? It makes no sense, because it doesn't make sense, because it's a lie. And they've got a case to answer. So they're not giving this family an inquiry because the smug politicians in the Dáil say, oh, we gave them an inquiry, they got their answers. They haven't got their answers, and there's a hole in their heart and the heart of our community until we get those answers. And you know why they won't give an inquiry and they won't give this family their answers? Because there's a case to answer when it comes to the Debenhams workers who were dragged off a picket line by the Gardaí. The Gardaí acting as a private security force for KPMG, acting against working class people who are protesting for their redundancies. The Gardaí act like the new black and tans, facilitating evictions the length and breadth of this country, working for foreign vulture funds, Canadian vulture funds, American vulture funds, taking public land out of our hands and turning it into private housing, and none of us can afford a place to live because of it. You see, if the Wheelock family start pulling on that thread by asking for an inquiry, the whole thing might unravel. And we might realise that the system is stacked against working class people. Whether it comes to housing, whether it comes to the housing list, whether it comes to healthcare, they despise us. And yet we're the ones that are expected to do all the work. We're the ones that keep this system going. And all we get is disrespect in return. So we have to keep on fighting. And I'll say it to Sammy, yous are heroes of the working class. The whole family are heroes to the working class. Because every time I see the Wheelock family fighting, it inspires me to keep fighting. It says to me, if they can keep fighting with that pain, that hole in their heart, if they can get up every morning, get their banners and placards and keep on fighting for justice for Terence, for justice for their father, for justice for Larry, who would love to see that justice prevail one day. If they can do that, we can all do that. Whenever you're faced with an injustice, whether it's housing, whether it's healthcare, or anyone in your family is mistreated by this system, do what this family have done. Stand up, rise up, revolt.